Hi, everyone.
Hey,
I'm Alicia,
and I'm Meredith.
and this is Summer is Fun, a Summer House podcast. Season 2, Episode 1. We're back in time.
Woohoo!
Hello, everyone. Welcome to 2016.
That's wild.
We're having a fun summer, hanging with the
Okay,
besties.
I will say when I watched this episode, I was like, oh, we're basically right in line when these episodes were being filmed, like based on the date, because I think these dates are like June 24th.
Yes,
and
because
it's
this
for us, it's June 27th.
Well, Gay Pride was just yesterday.
Yes,
so New York. So
I was like, this is amazing.
It was like perfect.
I loved it.
Oh, well, I'm so excited. I love season 2 from what I remember. I think it's very chaotic.
Too. It has one of our favorite classic lines, which I will wait to talk about until this season on.
Can't wait. Okay, well, check us out on the A&M Podcast Network. We have this podcast. We have It's About the Pasta, a Vanderpump Rules podcast, and we have One Season Wonders, a show where Meredith and I pick a show that only has one season and we talk about it. Please be sure to rate, review, subscribe. We have no new reviews or ratings, but that's because we were out of commission for a little bit. So get up there. Follow us on Instagram at Vanderpasta. Also kind of been slacking on that. That's my fault. I'll get back into it. And then join us on the patreon.com/Vanderpasta. Let me tell you what you can get. For $1 a month, you get access to all of our pre-shows where Meredith and I catch up, talk about whatever the hell we want, do our thing. Maybe sometimes we won't talk. We should have a silent one time.
No, I would just why record it then? I'll just put dead air out there. It's just us clicking and clacking like working while on video chat.
And then also you get access to any episodes we record early, including this episode. So we're recording this end of June 2022. I don't know when it will be released, but it's not this week. So
it'll be soon. We're a little bit behind recording, so this will come out sooner than most of them will. But you're listening to this and like we've already recorded like half the season. So that's what you're missing out on.
Wow.
I think. Who knows?
I think we'll see. We'll let you know. We'll keep you updated.
It depends on what I'm feeling.
For $2 a month, you get access to everything I just mentioned. Plus, you get access to the after shows that we do when we go back and we watch old seasons like this one because we got a lot of drama to talk to. Even though our pre-show was like kind of Bravo related. We tried to do Summer House, no spoilers, but now we're talking.
There were like words unsaid to not make it full spoiler.
We'll keep it out. It's hard. Everyone's overlapping.
Live watching the new season of Southern Charm, which has some spoilers to other things. So sorry.
Overlap, yeah. But also we'll say your name on the podcast. So thank you to Chris, Danae, Dustin, Jackie, Casey, Kimberly, Cameron, Tiffany, Tracy, Gina, Jennifer, Kelsey, Mariah, and Sarah.
Woo!
Wow, it's been a long time.
I know. I when you started reading that list, I immediately started smiling. I was like, it's been a minute.
You did. You were like,
I missed this.
And then for $5 a month, you get access to everything I just mentioned. Plus, for live shows, you get to give us your opinions. We'll read them on the podcast. We'll talk about them. Honestly, if you leave something on the Patreon, I might even read it out loud because that's what I'm going to do because we have a message from a Patreon or a patron. So like, I don't care. It's our show. We can do what we want.
It's just not as scheduled as live seasons.
Yeah.
Live seasons, we look for you.
Yes.
Old seasons, you got to catch us where we're at.
It's whenever we're free. And then also we'll figure out something for when we get to One Season Wonders to get
involved. Seriously, if any of our patrons want to join
send us a message.
Yes, we're first doing Princess of Malibu, and then we are doing Lindsay Lohan's Beach Club, is that what it's called? So if our patrons are interested in joining or have a recommendation of a season they want to do, we'll like book that in and you can do it with us.
Okay, and also we'll pick a patron of the episode. So this episode, I'm gonna pick Tracy. Because Tracy's a queen. She's been with us for a while. And also she left me literally the funniest thing that I love. Okay, so really quick, we're going to go to Vanderpump because we did season 4 forever. But basically, Kristen Doty on Vanderpump Rules does this thing where when she's trying to catch a straw in her mouth, she just puts her cup, she like brings up her glass and then chases the straw with her mouth like wide
Which
open.
always goes wrong,
And I
as you
hate
can
it.
imagine.
I hate it. It's horrible to watch. And Tracy said, when I get drunk at a bar, I take it upon myself to tell everyone to never search for their straw with their mouth. I then follow up with a very exaggerated and unflattering example of why. Tracy, you're doing God's work out there. I'm about to do this too. I'm about to get drunk and I'm about to do this for people.
Alicia's about to mansplain how to put a straw to your mouth using your hand.
It's not mansplaining when A, I'm a woman, so you can't shut me down. And
Alicia
B,
splain.
and B, if you don't know how to do it by now, I'm here to help.
You're doing God's work.
Gracie, shout out to you. Okay. Shall we get into our episode of Summer House?
Yes, I'm so excited. I love Summer House so much for two reasons. One, who doesn't love summer? And two, they're short seasons. So like you just know they're going to be action packed and I love it.
And literally half of it is them saying hi, which we can totally skip over. I'm just like, okay, great. And I watch it.
I love the updates though that Kyle gives, like, and I bet you're about to give on our like previously on.
Right. Yes. Last season on Summer House, Kyle tried to be single man, but he couldn't forget about Amanda. And now Kyle and Amanda are Instagram official, boyfriend, girlfriend, the whole 9 yards.
Awkward relationship hurdles to get through.
Exactly. Meanwhile, on the relationship status, Lindsay and Everett were in love, even though that was a nightmare for even us to watch. And then they moved in together in September, so right after summer, which we all saw coming and knew it was a bad idea. And then they broke up in the spring. So
you know what? Congrats to them for making it that long.
Honestly, after Lindsay was gonna go sleep with a guy
in a bed,
I was like, oh no. But they did it till spring. Also, Everett's just an ass. I rewatched part of season 1 recently, so I can say that I don't like Everett. Okay. Lauren and Carl were hot and cold all summer. And then, you know, you go back to New York City in the fall and it's cuffing season. So they did the dating thing, but then it turns out Lauren thought they were exclusive and Carl thought they were just having some fun. So he was hooking up with other girls.
Ooh, this is tough.
And they also broke up, I think, end of winter, early spring. Is that timeline. And then Steven and Carl became really good friends last season and they're still kind of friends, but recently Carl's been partying a lot and he's like never around. And so he's kind of like, Steven feels like Carl's avoiding him. Which it seems like Carl's listen, okay, little tidbit. I think I've talked about this before, but a girl I work with used to live in the East Village in New York and said that she has like partied with Carl and that man does
in this
not
era,
quit.
right?
Yeah. Yes, in this era. And was like, he would literally like fall asleep in a closet at their apartment and they'd have to like wake him up and be like, we barely know you. You're a friend of a friend. What the fuck are you doing here? Jeez. Or like he would like go nuts at their apartment. She was like, he's crazy. So I think that's this. I think
here's the color behind the show.
Imagine having this man at your apartment and you barely know him. I bet it's
I would just hope he brings drinks and leaves a bunch there. That's the only benefit of throwing a party is you get all the leftover alcohol.
Yes. Okay, so we got new friends coming in the house. We got a new house to party at, and we got a new summer to do Summer House. So let's do it.
Yes.
We're in New York. It's Friday, 3 p.m. Kyle's loading up his car with boxes and with Amanda.
She's bringing down hangers on hangers of clothes, ready to drive to the summer house with her. And I'm so pumped we finally officially have her on the season.
We got the couple. Kyle thinks he grew up a lot because him and Amanda are rock solid. And now it's time to go to the Hamptons and probably ruin that. But
I was about to say that coming from Kyle, I don't know what rock solid means.
I don't either. And also this man's in his 30s and it's his first summer not single. So this man is just in New York dating. And then the minute June comes, he's like, goodbye.
He's like, pause this. See you in September for cuffing season.
Yeah. So Amanda's going to be at the house all summer. They're going to share a bedroom. It's going to happen. And
that is kind of stressful the first
That's
time
a
sharing
lot.
like a room with someone.
That's totally a lot. But they're excited because Steven is in charge of dinner tonight. So now we flash to the Hamptons. Lauren and Steven are driving down with a blow up Ashley because Ashley is in California with her husband, Brad. And it's the first time Ashley and Lauren are split up.
That's
wow. Hard for twins.
I know, but aren't they 28?
Yeah, but like twins have a different kind of bond. And I think once you like, if you don't split up for a while, you want to keep living, you know, a life together.
I get it. I need to know more about when Ashley got married because Ashley like prioritizes Lauren over her own husband, and it's
Lauren,
weird.
I'm sure was on the honeymoon. I would put money.
Yes.
But you know what? Lauren has Steven and they're driving down early because they want first look at the rooms.
I get this. I want to be the first on vacation because I want to pick the room I want to be in.
And also Steven last year slept on a blow up mattress, the couch, and on a floaty in the pool. Okay. He's just trying to get an indoor bed. He
deserves a good room this year.
Agreed. So they talk about how Carl is bringing out 2 new people. One girl Carl used to hook up with, and another guy that Carl met at Coachella.
Which I guess I need to go to Coachella to get invited to the summer house.
Yeah, just walk around and be like, I'm not here for the party, but do you have a summer house in the Hamptons? Lauren and Carl are not on good terms. He was 2-timing her. Lauren even met his mom because in a picture we see Carl's mom there.
Which that's okay. You do not meet somebody's parents unless you're in an exclusive relationship.
Yeah. Yeah. But Carl went on a bender and then just ghosted Lauren, which is crazy.
I hate laughing at it, but like, I just imagine it unfolding. Like Lauren sitting at home trying to call Carl, and Carl's just like
hammered,
going at it all week, everything.
But like, also, I couldn't do that because I'm old.
The bender.
Carl's 32. Carl's 32 going on a bender. I'm exhausted by 9 p.m.
Oh, same. I like barely drink these days in like such a great way. I feel like a whole human being right now.
In such a good way.
Outside of my birthday at a winery.
Yeah, caught Meredith. You were just drinking.
But I'm saying like weekdays. I'm like, Carl going on a bender means he was probably drinking every single night.
I was going to say, I can't remember the last time I did like a double day bender, let alone like a real bender where it's like, oh,
I would break in half.
I would probably be at the hospital.
Yeah. Like I put an IV in me now.
Okay. So we go back to Kyle and he's like, I haven't talked to Carl in a long time. I should call him. So he calls Carl. Carl's clearly drunk on the phone and, Amit is driving the car.
The way Carl picks up, hey, this is Carl. And Kyle's like, yeah, I know.
Yeah, I called your number.
And Carl's like, well, Amit's driving. And Kyle's like, what does that have to do with you answering your own cell phone?
Yeah, he's like, Amit's driving. And then Kyle was like, I thought you were driving because I think they needed for cars for gay pride. Oh. And Carl's like, nope.
And then he's like, drunk. I thought you were driving. And I'm like, where's this
Kyle's
conversation
like,
even
I
going?
am driving. Very drunk. So we get to the house. Steven and Lauren are ready to look at rooms. First, they see a downstairs suite that they don't want because that's going to be the loudest room. And we already know Lauren last year got the loudest room and she was a nightmare about it.
You know what? This is what being a multi-year summer houser does for you is you know how to choose a room.
You know.
Because you think that would be a fun one to have.
Yeah. So they go around the house, they find like this nice balcony, they look over, they have a tennis court at this house. Ooh. And they say to themselves like, who the fuck is gonna play tennis here? Some pretentious asshole. And then it cuts to Kyle going, oh, I forgot my tennis racket.
I love this house so much.
I love this.
I like the layout. It's easy to understand.
Yeah, when I think of summer house, I think of this house.
Same, because
this is my house.
I don't think this is really a spoiler, but they're in this house for a few years.
Yeah.
So
I love this house.
Lock in this layout because we got it for a while.
Yeah, and it's an easy one to lock in. It's open. We know.
You know exactly. There's only one room downstairs and the rest are upstairs, and you know what room people are in and how it's kind of situated.
Yeah, there's one hallway. that all the
Yes.
rooms are on.
Yep.
So Lauren picks first because Steven doesn't want to get in the way of a workus.
Understand
He's like,
that
I'll let her
fully.
pick first. And she, of course, picks the master. And then the master upstairs. And then Steven's like, cool, I'll pick this room in the corner. And I think he's hoping no one will see that room at first. So he'll like slide under the radar.
I think his is like shares a wall with Lauren's. And so I think it's off. It also has the balcony because I think only the back rooms upstairs have the balcony.
Yes. I think there's 3 rooms like that. Cause I think, not for spoilers, but I think Danielle also gets that. Like when Lindsay first walks in, she picks a room over there too. So I think there's 3.
3 off with the balcony.
And then there's
And
one
then 2
on the other side.
I think there's 2 others.
Oh,
I think
2
there's
others.
6 rooms.
You're right.
1
Total.
downstairs, 5 upstairs.
Yes.
6 rooms, 8 people, they said.
We
on the
think
way
so.
there.
We think so.
Well, probably more because the crew has to stay somewhere, right?
The crew is underground right now. I don't know. Where are they staying?
I don't know.
I don't think they would stay in the house. I think they're like right next door, you know, there's like a little shed somewhere.
A pool house. There's
Exactly.
8 bunk beds.
8 bunk beds for the crew. So then we get to Kyle saying he hopes no one picks before he's there, which like he would pick before anyone else showed
I
up.
was
So
thinking
I'm-
the same thing. Like, you would have no problem picking a room before everyone else got there. You're just mad because you want one of the best rooms and chose not to go early.
Exactly. So Lauren and Steven are then setting up the dinner table outside. And they're talking about how Lauren's gonna go to Pride with Steven because Steven's really trying to embrace who he is and himself. And though he is out, he still kind of feels uncomfortable in the gay community. So he wants his friend's support.
Love that.
And he also invited Carl, but now he's hesitant because Steven's getting a weird vibe from Carl. Carl and Steven used to be good friends.
Where you like invite someone when you're in a good moment, and then like by the time it comes around, you're like, things are awkward. Can you just come up with an excuse not to come?
Hopefully it's okay, but we'll see. So then Lindsay's here. Lindsay Hubs in the building. Can't find anyone. But she owns her own PR firm, so it's work all week, and now she's ready to party on the weekends. She's giving
she says
Kyle
there's
energy.
no days off. It seems like even weekends, but that's what happens when you own your own business. This is pre-pandemic working from home.
So yeah, so she's gonna grab a room because first come, first serve.
I agree.
She talks about how she misses Everett, but she's single fucking Lindsay, and she's gonna have her own room and do whatever the fuck she wants.
I love this attitude. This is a summer attitude. Like, let's get after it.
Yes, hot girl summer. So then Kyle and Amanda show up, and they immediately go hunting for the best bedroom.
What? Wait, you mean Kyle's not waiting for everybody else to arrive to pick a bedroom?
So he goes upstairs and he sees a blow-up Ashley in the master bedroom, which definitely means Lauren's there. And they see Lindsay Hubbard's coat that says Hubs on it to know that that's her room. And Kyle is pissed because he thinks him and Amanda should get the master because they're a couple. And they don't want the downstairs. So we got to have a huddle about it. So Kyle goes in the back and he's like, hey, everyone, can we talk about the rooms? And he says, you know, what makes you think, Lauren, that you're going to get the master? And she goes, well, I had it last year. So I thought tradition, I would get it this year, which I was like, there's such a bad argument.
Oh, terrible one. But I appreciate the effort. She's like, well, I had it last year. So just keeping things the same.
Well, I'd be like, if I'm Kyle, right? My argument would then be like, yeah, you had it last year with your sister, who is your couple. Maybe give it up this year to share.
Yeah.
And I'll get it. But no, Kyle's like, are you serious? But Lauren then also fights that she has hair and she wants to get her beauty sleep. And she's taller than Kyle and Amanda.
Which these arguments are hilarious because if she were to explain why the hair and the tallness, like she doesn't go on about either of them.
If you like don't know any better, it sounds like she's about to fight Kyle and Amanda because she's taller than them.
She's like, I have 10 fingers and teeth.
And 10 toes.
Yeah.
But like it's because I get like the bed needs to be a certain height for her to fit.
Bed. I was even thinking she has her own bathroom, so I bet the bathroom's better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Steven could say something. He doesn't think Lauren's making any sense, but he's not gonna, because that means if they fight with Lauren, he might get away with getting the second best bedroom in
Yes.
the
It's like
house.
he's not gonna come at her, but he's also not gonna support her too much
No.
because he wants them to take Lauren's room, not his second best room.
This is smart. This is something I would do. You never go for top. You want to slide right under with
This is
just
also
enough.
you don't get involved in an argument because you start putting a target on your back.
Exactly.
An
Amazing.
argument like this is like petty. If it's like real life stuff, yeah, get involved where it matters. But like it's
This doesn't
bedrooms.
matter.
Don't be seen, don't be heard.
So then Lauren says that a couple isn't a good enough reason for the master. And then Kyle's like, that's the exact thing you said last year, though. That's why you got the master.
Yep.
And Lauren lets Kyle know that no one wants to hear Kyle having sex all summer, so he should be downstairs.
That was the best argument she had.
That's a good one.
The headboard I want would hit Steven's
Lindsay
room.
or Steven or one of them.
Yeah. So don't do that to Steven.
Yeah. So they've moved to the kitchen now, still arguing. Amanda's trying to say something. Lindsay totally bulldozes her.
Yeah.
Lauren. Because Lauren's loud and in charge. And you're not.
Amanda's basically saying she kind of like she understands her arguments, and Lauren's like,
But,
exactly.
Yeah.
Everything over it.
So Amanda says there has to be 2 other people sharing a room then too, which will be the masters, because we have like more people coming and not enough room. So there has to be sharing.
And that's valid. I think the 2 masters are the 2 ones with king beds. Those are the ones that 2 people should sleep in.
Yeah. So that's when Kyle's like, okay, whoever's sharing should get the biggest room. And Lauren's like, fuck, I gotta figure out who I'm gonna share with. And she doesn't want to share with Carl's ex-girlfriend. So she goes, Lindsay can move in with me and we'll share. And Lindsay's like, what?
But it's hard because like I think Lindsay's logically thinking it through. It's basically like one of them either has to share with Lindsay or they share together. Or sorry, Lindsay and Lauren, either one of them has to share with Danielle or they have to share together. That's where it's kind of going. So I think Lindsay's like, shit, I have a 33% chance of getting my own room. I might as well just share with
and get the big one.
Yeah.
I would have fought and said, why don't Carl and Amit share, since they're so close at Coachella?
But then we never make guys share.
We'd give up the master, I guess.
That's true. That's true. Honestly, Lauren's need to have the master
makes her need to share.
Yeah, she's willing to share a room to get the master, which you know what, she's got her priorities and her priority is the master.
Double down, bitch. So Amit, Danielle, and Carl show up. It's a little awkward, but Lauren does give Danielle a hug. Lindsay sees Amit and she is like, holy hell, hello. She's ready to fuck.
I mean, he's cute. I'm excited to have a new fresh meat in the house.
Exactly. So Danielle does ask about rooms and everyone's like, oh no, like rooms. And Danielle's like, no, I'm like pretty easygoing. I just like need a place to sleep. I don't really care where that is.
Okay. Do you think she's trying to be the cool girl with that though? Because she's like the new girl.
I think when you're new, you should be like a little more willing to.
I think she's like,
whatever.
I mean, not that she isn't like chill about stuff like this, but I think she's playing it hard. Like, I'll sleep on the pool table. I don't care.
Yeah. But I think if you're new, you kind of have to be like, yeah, wherever is like fine. You're like hoping to get a nice
There
room.
is a totem pole of like where people sit. Like you are fresh meat. You don't get like the best room.
No, absolutely not. But yeah, we find out she's like a little Puerto Rican girl from Hoboken. So this is an upgrade for her. Meanwhile, Carl's drunk. That's it. Carl's is super drunk right now. God. Okay, so now it's Friday, 9:20. We get a little background on Amit. He was a corporate insurance broker for 6 years, but he saved his money, quit his job, and he's been traveling for 8 months, which like sounds lovely. I love that.
Wow, I actually just saw an Instagram post where people did this. They saved up not even that much money and went to Europe and are just traveling. So
my fear would be, I gotta eventually go back and get another job though.
I know, and that would be hard.
Yeah. So
if anybody just wants to bankroll my travels for the rest of my life, I'm available.
I'm also throwing my hat in the ring for that one. Steven starting to make dinner. He wants to start out on the right tone. So we have rosé, we
Yep.
have lots of good Southern food, and Steven fills up his whole cup to the brim because he's putting this whole thing together.
I love this. You're like, there is basically just enough for a full glass of wine. Let me chug mine so I get the end of the bottle.
Perfect. Kyle's mad. Well, like kind of playfully mad with Amanda because she took up a lot of the shelves for her shoes. He just doesn't understand why shoes that are on the ground can't just stay on the ground.
This
But
is
like
this is tough.
sharing.
I was about to say this is relationship in a summer house. You have to split
Yeah.
the closet. And it seems like she took all the shelves, so I kind of understand when he's like, can I put my pants somewhere? But I bet
She's
there's
like,
a freaking
"No."
dresser in the bedroom.
Yeah, she's like, absolutely not. Find somewhere else.
She really moved in, which
So
I like
of
this.
respect.
Yeah.
So
Bring
then
your whole closet.
Steven warns everyone 15 minutes to dinner, and then he sets everything up, and then it's 9:53, and then it's 9:56, and then it's 10:03, and still no one is at Steven's dinner.
I'm
And then
pissed if
Carl-
I'm
I
a guest
know.
because I'm starving.
I'm pissed if I'm Steven because I slaved over this and it's gonna get cold and I'm hungry.
And look at this beautiful setting he put, like lights in the tree.
Beautiful.
It is gorgeous.
So no one's at dinner except Carl, drunk Carl, I should mention.
Yeah.
And he's drunk and hungry. And then everyone else starts to show up, but we're still missing Lauren and Lindsay. And you know, manners say that you shouldn't start eating until everyone is sat at the table.
No, if they're no, I don't like this whole manners crap anymore. They're like taking forever.
No one, everyone was kind of though, would you be Carl? Because Carl decides he doesn't want to wait and he starts digging in and
At a
no
certain
one follows.
point, somebody should walk in and say, ladies, we're gonna start
That's
without
it.
you.
Someone should have walked in and said hello, but you shouldn't eat until it's like, go ahead and eat.
Yes, I'm fine with like waiting for everybody in a reasonable manner to sit down and start. That is how I do live my life. But if these two chicks were eating at dinner at home, are gossiping in the room like they are, instead of like brushing their hair and walking out for this now 11 p.m. dinner, it seems like, I'm ready to start.
I get it.
Especially when Carl's so hammered, he needs food in him.
Oh my God, this man does not care. But Steven gets a little upset because he's like, you're going to be the only one with food on your plate. And like kind of hinting. And Carl's like, I don't care. It's so good. Who cares? I'm going to eat it all.
Carl is so far past taking subtle hints.
Yeah. So we'll see. So yeah, Steven says he's taking notes and his notes are etched in stone. So he's going to remember everything here. And then like clockwork, Lindsay and Lauren show up and they're like, hey, sorry, we're late. So they sit down and Steven does a toast for a good summer. We cheers to our new roommates, including Amanda, who Kyle always forgets.
I feel like I understand why
I
forgot about her because she was there so much last year.
Yeah. So yeah, that's when Carl says he didn't wait for anyone because he was hungry and Lauren and Lindsay were late. So that's not his fault and he can eat whenever he wants. And he's a little aggressive about it.
He's just throwing digs. That one kind of made sense, but the Steven ones earlier didn't make sense. He slaved and made this whole meal for you and you're like, nobody showed up to your party.
Yeah, he kept being like, sorry, no one's here. What would you serve next time no one shows up? And now he's sitting here. He's like, I was the first one at this dinner table. You guys weren't. It was me. And Steven's kind of like, shut the fuck up. And he's like, why are you getting mad at me, Steven? I was here.
It's like, we're not on the same team. You just dragged me while waiting for everyone. And now you want to be my bestie? No, that's not how this works.
And Steven makes a good point that the homeless are always the first at the soup kitchen.
Steven's interviews are
he's the best
to die for.
So good. So Carl's kind of angering Lauren and Steven, and Kyle's kind of tells Carl, like, get a grip, shut up, stop doing this. Like, you're clearly stop quoting rappers.
Yeah. That's all. He just has these like catchphrases. It's either a catchphrase from a rapper or just a dig for no reason.
Yeah. So then Steven now is absolutely pissed. Carl and Lauren start arguing. Carl gets up and leaves. The camera's all shaky. Like there's just no good angle. Carl like stomps into the house, fucking
Good.
wasted. Steven's trying to hold back tears as Carl's yelling in this house about how it's not his fault or whatever.
Oh, good Lord.
And then Steven just pours himself another glass and drinks his sorrows away.
Good for him.
I'm not even sure what happened here. Like, it was just like,
I
hey,
think
Carl, shut up. And he's like,
yes.
what?
I think Carl's just so intoxicated. He can't see that people are annoyed with him and he just keeps going in and then they keep getting more annoyed. And he thinks it's just a playful joke, but it's not.
It's not playful if you keep going on and on and on and on.
Yeah, you have to watch how people are responding and then you have to stop if people aren't like laughing with you. But he's so unaware of the situation.
Well, moving on. So without Carl, we do the summer house rules, even though Carl should be the one to hear these the most. But Lindsay pulls out her glasses, pulls out a clipboard and a pointer, and is like, listen up. Rule number 1, Kyle, what was it? What is it? What's number 1? And Kyle says, no couples in the summer house.
I loved how she did this.
Because he gave her so much shit last season.
Yeah.
This is it. So then Lindsay goes, what is it now? And Kyle goes, cool couples.
Cool couples in the summer house.
Rule number 2 is keep the volume down. Kyle and Amanda, we're looking at you and your sex life, which Amanda's like, great, thank you so much. God. And then Lindsay gives Kyle and Amanda handcuffs, but she has the keys, so they need to come to her when they're ready.
Oh, Lord.
But then Lindsay makes Kyle get up and she knights him as the couple of the summer house and passes the torch. And it's beautiful. Very cute. It's like,
I like how he's like,
I
don't want to take this.
Yeah, he's like, I don't want it. And Amanda's like, take it. No.
I mean, it is funny how the tables have turned from season 1, Kyle.
Yeah, literally.
Kyle.
So dinner's done. Let's drink. Steven's hammered. He gets into a closet under all these sheets and pillows. I think
they were all on like shelves, and he like pulled all this stuff off to like.
I think so too.
Cover himself. Him.
Yeah, he's just under it, and Danielle finds him and is like, "What are you doing?" And he's like, "I'm just chilling."
She's like, "Let's get a drink," and he's like, "I already have one."
I have one. But he came out of the closet for the second time. What a joke. Am I right?
See, Bride. Carl, that's where there's a funny joke.
That's the joke. So, all of a sudden it's 1:04 a.m. No one's going out except Lauren, who is having an away game.
I love this. I love this so much because the premise of the show is that there's hidden cameras everywhere. So you catch everything.
Yeah.
Like we're able to watch her walk out, and then the next morning, like she comes back, and I
know exactly. We know exactly where she goes.
In any other show, you would have to just get like interviews about it, like what happened. Mm-hmm. But we get the real thing. We get it live.
Exactly. So then it's Saturday, 8:32 a.m. Lindsay wakes up in a chair outside.
I can't.
I actually
the whole king bed to herself.
Yeah.
Probably the one night, 100% she had it to herself.
Hilarious. So then Carl, he's up because he went to bed right after he yelled at everyone.
Which he needed to.
He sees Lauren come home and he took a video of her, which I don't know why.
When he says that to her, she walks in her soul, she was probably like, oh, that got to him.
I got him. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because then she walks right up and he's like, hey, like they meet at the stairs and he's like, hey, I got a video of you. And she's like, why? Like, she's like, weirdo. Okay, bye.
She played it off so cool. Like, so I love how she's like, oh, got my away game. And you know what? Carl can watch me walk in.
Cool girl. So now it's 11:40. Everyone's getting up. We clean a little. We still have dinner outside. No one cleaned that up.
Oh my God.
Shout out.
But I have to say, Steven's the only one, I guess kind of Carl because he went to bed. But Steven's legit the only excused. I would be pissed if I woke up and that was still all there.
Yeah. Well, Steven's very hungover. He walks into Lauren and Lindsay's room in this like really furry blanket that makes him look like Jon
Yes.
Snow from Game of Thrones.
Yeah, you
And
can't
he
even really
just,
see him.
no, he fully dies on their floor. He's like, I'm not even here. He's struggle busing.
Doesn't even make it to the bed, like is laying on the
No.
ground of all things.
Meanwhile, Danielle and Carl get their basketball on. Woo,
This
I
is
love.
a little awkward in my mind because we don't know Danielle and Carl's relationship yet. They obviously discuss it here, but I'm like, I don't know if I could ever go to a summer house with my ex and then be like, yeah, let's wake up and play
You
basketball
want to go
together.
hoop? So yeah, let's hear a little bit about them. So Danielle and Carl dated for 2.5 years.
No. They dated 2 years ago.
Oh yeah, 2.5 years ago. You're right.
I was
For
gonna
a few
say,
months.
they
I
did
said it
not
and I was
date for
like,
2
that's
years.
wrong. That's
Yeah.
not it. Yes, they dated 2.5 years ago and they weren't right together. They're still friends though. Danielle tells Carl here that he was drunk and angry and mean last night. And he should probably go say sorry to people. And she knows this Carl very well because that's how he was when they dated.
Ooh,
And she just says he's great on the surface, but there's like nothing great underneath it, which like that's rough. That cuts hard.
I know. It's like he has this great facade. It seems like when he's sober, like he's a great guy.
Yeah.
It seems like the drinking is kind of a demon and she knows what to expect.
Mhm.
But while that for 2 years it's been like this. Because
Yeah.
I don't think we really saw much of this last season.
No, it was just him trying to hook up with Lauren.
Which is a normal thing.
That's fine. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think he ever got like too crazy.
I
Or
think
like
he got
affected
frustrated.
relationships.
Yeah. I feel like he got frustrated in moments, but it's like the Steven type of thing. He wouldn't ever just kind of like jab at a friend like that for so long.
Yeah. Okay, so inside, Kyle and Amit try to get the margarita machine to work. And Lindsay watches Amit like finger this thing.
Oh my God. She loves the
She's
work
in
with
it.
his hands. She's like,
She's in it.
yes. She's like, that could be me.
So then Carl goes inside and he sees Steven at the top of the steps and he asks to talk to Steven and Steven says no. He's like, I don't want to, but Carl kind of begs and corners him and apologizes and Steven's just like, you know what, it's fine.
It's like a half apology though. He's like, hey, sorry, man.
Sorry about last night, my guy. Yeah, it's okay.
I bet Carl has no clue what he said or
no idea.
And I bet we did not even see the full extent of it. Like why
no
spend 10 minutes on Carl being a dick.
So then we talk about how Lauren, Carl, and Steven are going to do Pride tomorrow. Great. Like, see you then. And then Steven goes immediately and tells Lauren that he just got a fake apology from Carl. And, you know, this is where Lauren tells us it's been a really rough year for Carl. He got laid off. His parents are going through a divorce, but this is still no excuse to treat people horribly.
I mean, great to know some background that happened in, I'll say, the off season of the show. I wonder if we'll get more details on either of those things, his job, his parents. But yeah, I mean, she's right. It isn't an excuse.
Yeah, I hope we get more on him getting laid off because I think that's like a real thing.
And it affects your finances that I think kind of goes into the show. Like Kyle kind of mentioned it whenever he first got to the house. He said that he is a entrepreneur and typically he's very tight with his finances, but it's summer, you know, like this is the only time I feel like it seems like he lets himself go all out, both with money and, you know, just having fun. And so how will money maybe affect Carl's summer? Yeah, exactly.
But you know what? We're not going to dwell on Carl for long because we're going to Polo where we're going to manhunt. So Polo YOLO, am I right?
Oh God, we do not need to bring back YOLO.
So we're all dressed up. It's a polo event.
Have you ever been to a polo event?
No, have you?
I haven't either, but some of my friends haven't seen the list.
I don't know if it's like my thing.
I don't either.
I'd rather like go to like a football event or like a tailgate.
I agree. But you know what? I will do anything once. I'll do every sporting event.
That's true.
Once,
me too.
And especially if things are free.
Oh yeah.
You will catch me there if there are free booze. I'm in.
Oh yeah. Things are free. I'm in. So we're all sitting around and Lauren asks Amit, fuck, marry, kill, Danielle, Lindsay, Lauren, go.
I love it. Like, let's just dive right in.
Yeah, and he's immediately like, I'm not answering that. That's a terrible thing to say to your roommates.
It is hard to start the summer like that. He does not know anyone.
But he goes to his interview and says Amanda.
I love how he like
love.
whispers it to the side as if they weren't going to use it.
I love that. And then Steven in his interview is like, kill them all. That's the only answer.
Steven's interviews, I live
so
for.
Funny. Because he also like whispered it. He's like, kill them all.
Kill them all. Kill them
so
all.
Then we can't find Carl because he's flirting with other girls that don't
good
live
for
in the
him.
summer house.
I will give that. I mean, he should avoid another house romance because he has 2 exes in the house.
Yeah, let's not make it 3. So Lindsay, Danielle, and Lauren are like, you know what? It's hot girl summer. We're going to go find some polo players.
Mm-hmm.
Lindsay immediately finds Matthew and is like, take me on your horse.
I loved it. She's like, which way are we going? Let's go.
So she does. She gets on the horse and she's getting a little handsy because she doesn't want to fall off. So she's really holding on to this man. But at one point she goes for his thighs. I'm like, what's that gonna do, girl? Hold him by the waist. Yes. So funny. But then Lauren and Danielle get to talk. You know, the girls are gonna have fun this summer, even though they slept with the same guy.
Oh, the way that was cut. I mean, it sounds like Danielle dubbed over a little bit.
The way it was cut, Danielle totally dubbed because she said something like,
so we slept with the same guy something like so blunt. And I was like, she would never say that.
It's
this
like,
is her second
so we slept with and then it like cuts to like same guy and it just didn't fit. And I was like, ooh, weird.
I literally laughed to myself as I wrote, we addressed the Carl in the room instead of the elephant.
So then Lauren is like, do you think that means I have your sloppy seconds? And Danielle's like, kind of, but more yeah. Which I was like, oh God.
I was like, shut up, Danielle. Shut up. You don't know what you're working with.
Got me. But she does cover with like more like been there, done that. And that's when Lauren's like, oh my God, same, been there, done that. So then they start bonding over how much Carl sucks, which like whatever.
Their situations seem very similar is what they're bonding over.
They have the same Carl dating stories.
Yeah, like they had summer flings that stayed into the fall, and then they had a dramatic winter, and he just kind of like either disappeared
ghosted.
Or just did his Carl thing.
Well, Carl's like Mexican food. It tastes so good that you eat a ton, but then you really have to shit and you never want to eat it again.
I like how they end with like, the been there, done that, we're not going back.
Yeah. But Lauren is not worried about Danielle and Danielle is not worried about Lauren. So
I mean, after last night, I feel like we got a good picture of the Carl that they saw in the winter. And I'm not
exactly. So as we're talking about Carl, Lindsay is just gone on this horse. We get like little snippets of her just riding around with Matthew. Which is very fun.
I mean, good for her. She went hunting and she found one.
Then we cut to Carl, who's flirting with a girl, and he asks for her information.
Which other girls he was talking to earlier were blurred out, so they didn't sign a release. Courtney here signed a release, and
Courtney
he
wanted
got
to be
a
on the
whole name
show.
tag.
Courtney's on the show. He got her information.
I was gonna say, is she gonna stay around a little bit? It seems like, why would we get so invested with a whole name? If she's not gonna pop back up.
Sleeping over tonight.
Well, they're going home, but maybe next weekend.
Oh, that's right. Home for Pride. Yeah. Right. So Lauren and Danielle are still talking about Carl when Lindsay shows up, and they're like, "Hey, we're talking about Carl. He's such a loser." And Lindsay's like, "Great, can we stop talking about him?"
Yeah, I mean, I do love Lindsay's no bullshit attitude. Like, screw him. Let's find other people.
I agree. Okay, so now it's Saturday night. We get back to the house. Amanda and Kyle go skinny dipping while Lindsay has her swimsuit or some clothes on. She's not skinny dipping, but she's in the pool. Everyone's kind of fucking around outside, where we cut to a meet, and he says this is his first time sharing a house with people, and it's a little crazy for him. So he's like separating and doing a face mask and just trying to be chill.
Self-care.
As an introvert, I also get this. Sometimes you just need time.
Again, this is the second night, so we've got time to warm up and be the fun of me.
Yes.
I would be
from
overwhelmed.
Coachella.
yeah, Coachella Amit can come week 2, 3, 4. Let's settle in, do our
Yes.
face mask.
So it's now Sunday, 1:13 a.m. Amanda and Kyle are kissing in the room, maybe hooking up. There's a pillow between them, though, that's very firm. They're crushing this relationship thing. So then we all wake up Sunday, 11:40 a.m. Amanda in a thong with a perfect ass. I don't understand. This woman is beautiful. I'm so in love. I get it. I get the whole thing. Lindsay and Danielle sit by the pool, and Danielle says she loves having her own room. Lindsay says she doesn't mind sharing because she lives by herself in the city. Got rid of Christina and Katie, am I right?
Oh man, I forgot about that. I mean, I
Yeah.
remembered her having roommates, but I forgot how awkward that was last season with the Christina working from home.
Yeah.
Lindsay starting her business and doing a whole meeting from the living room.
And Kate just there, or Katie, or whatever her name was.
She's like, I don't want to be in this
On
apartment,
Summer
let alone
House.
in this conversation.
So Lindsay went straight from the Hamptons to Everett's apartment, but then they broke up in March and she had to move out. So she found her own place, and she still misses Everett, but she's just got to cut the cord from him. And she wants to know who she is alone, which I appreciate. Good for her.
I think her living alone is a great idea.
I do too.
I want Everett's side of the story on this like relationship / breakup.
I don't.
I just want to know, like, because Lindsay did not really go into detail of like what happened, and I want the details. I am nosy.
I also just think it's good Lindsay's living alone, because then she'll be able to share with Lauren on weekends. And I think that'll make it easier.
I think it makes it fun, like having a roommate for 2 nights, and if like one of you might spend the night somewhere else, so it's not like you're really sharing.
Exactly. Kyle and Amanda are making coffee. Look at them, so domesticated. Who would have thought?
Wild.
Not me. Okay, Lauren and Steven then are at Pride in New York. So we cut to them. They're getting ready to walk in the parade. We don't know where Carl is. Steven's family doesn't know he's walking in the parade, but he's gonna share on his social media, so they'll find out soon enough.
It sounds like he has come out.
He's come out, but his family, he said, doesn't really accept him.
Yeah, so I wonder if that's hard to walk the line of like, I mean, I am a straight female, and so I don't know this experience, but I wonder if he's like, in my mind, I'm like, I wonder if he's trying to give his family some space and time. But I don't even know what that would feel like, or, going about like what his thoughts are behind it. Is he not sharing on social media because he's trying to give his family some space?
I think it's more, I have a few friends that haven't been accepted by the family. And I think it's more of like I've told you who I am, and you don't accept that part of me. So like, I'm just not going to let you into that part, but I'm still going to do that part. Like, you're going to know I'm still doing this. Like, no, it's not a phase. No, it's not like going away. I am this way, but like, you're not a part of this part of me, which means you're just not a part of me.
Yeah. The real me.
Yeah.
Whatever you're holding is not actually me.
Yeah. Just the idea of who he was.
Or who you think I should be.
Yeah, exactly. So he said he's not the most at home in the gay community, and that's why he really likes doing these events with his friends and having them by his side, because his friends love him and support him, and it's just like an extra layer of support that he probably doesn't get from his family.
I mean, in any community, it takes time to find your place. And so hearing about him growing up in a family that was very religious. Is he from Arkansas?
Alabama.
I was gonna say it's definitely an A state.
Alabama,
a really religious community, and he said he was like
the only gay person he knew.
Yeah, so I don't know about joining this community by any means, so I don't ever want to speak for him, but it's really cool to see him like this journey, because I think especially in 2016, this must have impacted so many people in such a positive way. Sure. And I think we've come so far with how stories are told, like with Schitt's Creek, like it's just normal, that Dan Levy's character is LGBTQ well, technically
He's pansexual.
Pansexual, is that it?
Yeah.
Like I like how it's just normal, but it is really cool to see Steven exploring this, even though he is out like talking about being so new in this community and like exploring it. I really like seeing that side.
Exactly. Okay, so it's 4 p.m. in the Hamptons. Everyone's getting ready to leave, getting mentally ready to go back to work. The only way to do that is to party until the very last second, until you hop in that car.
Don't let those Sunday scaries get to you.
They go back to the city where the Pride Parade is happening. Carl has made it in time to
finally
join the parade. He is drunk, but Steven is happy he is here. But they let him know, please don't take your shirt off unless you're gay. So I think Steven's more like, this is his time to be comfortable and try and be like a little more immersed in the community. And he doesn't want Carl like upstaging him almost.
Yes.
Like this is kind of his moment. He just needs Carl for support.
Exactly. Like, don't make this about you. And if you're having fun and like, if you're getting attention, how about we like walk and be excited for me?
Yeah. Check in with me. So, Pride Parade is starting. We're so excited. Carl's having a good time. It's his first time at Pride. He loves that there's no rules, except he breaks the one rule, which is don't take your shirt off. He does it.
And he like, not only does he take his shirt off, but he like walks away from them.
Yeah, talks to other people.
Yes, is becoming kind of a spectacle in a sense.
The center of attention.
Yeah, rather than being there to support his friend and being excited about his friend.
Yeah, and Steven's very low key of a person as it is. Like he's, I think, uncomfortable with attention. So like I liked how Lauren kind of met Steven's energy and walked with him and was like, this is fun. Look at us. Like we're waving, we're supporting, we're part of this community. We're
that's
allies.
a good point, because Lauren is a very outgoing attention type.
She's the attention.
But I love how you said she met Steven where he was at. And that's what being a good friend is. Yeah. It's like supporting your friend how they need support, not what you think is fun in the moment. Like Pride is such a fun day. Like Carl going and celebrating Pride, what he's doing is not bad.
It's not wrong.
No, but the whole point of him being there is to be a friendship support. And that's what he's not doing.
Yeah. So Carl also knows a lot about Steven. Like Steven's opened up to him about a lot. And Steven really wanted to experience this as friends with Carl. Yeah. But Carl ditching the group really makes Steven feel like Carl isn't there for him anymore, which is sad.
I know.
I get that though. I think also like if you show up to my thing, right? Like, hey, I invite you to this thing. It's really important to me. I'm uncomfortable in this situation.
And you know my journey.
You know my journey. Please don't show up drunk and like
it's just disrespectful,
inconsiderate. Yeah.
And making it about you.
Exactly.
But I do want to say, I mean, we are in June. This will release in July, but I just want to say happy Pride.
Happy Pride. Oh, we had gay Pride yesterday. I wasn't at it, but it looked so fun. I was out of town. I would have gone if I wasn't out of town, but it looked so fun. Meredith and I are both allies. We love all.
Yes. As Alicia's wearing a love sweatshirt.
Oh my God. It's not a Pride sweatshirt, but it says love on it.
I just feel like it was fitting.
But yeah, this is something very near and dear because I know many of people who have come out and have not been accepted. And I actually, for some reason, I have like a really good track record with like people coming out to me, like me being one of the first people they tell.
Yeah.
I think 2 people, I was the very first person they told.
That's awesome.
And I responded exactly how they needed me without knowing.
Oh,
like my
that's
one
so
friend,
cool.
my one friend came, this is my favorite. He like, we were both hammered drunk and he set it up as like, you're not going to love me when I tell you about this thing. Like, I'm so scared. And I'm sobbing. I'm like, what? Both
You're
hammered.
like, who'd you murder?
I'm like, I thought he cheated on his girlfriend, who's one of my best friends. I was like, oh my God, am I gonna have to choose? And he goes, I'm bisexual. And I literally go, is that what you do? What? And he was like, yeah, I am. And I literally go, wait a second, why wouldn't I love you if you were bisexual? Do I give off those vibes? And he was like, what? And I was like, do I? And he's
of course
like,
I love
what?
you. You're like, I was waiting for the shoe to drop, and this
But
isn't a shoe that dropped. This is
once
you.
once we sobered up, he was like, that's what I needed. I needed to know like it's not a big deal.
Yeah.
Like it like people will still love me.
Yeah.
And like I don't need to like make a big spectacle before coming out. I was like, also we were both verge of blacking out. So please don't tell me anything important at that moment. But yeah,
I bet that took a lot of pressure off to do it in that moment. You know, you're like, I'm just gonna do it. I'm jumping off the cliff.
We were both sad because our hetero relationships were going horribly, and he was like, this is the moment.
This is the moment.
Very fun. But we love Pride. So let's go back to Summer House though, because we're not done. The season has only begun.
I'm so excited.
Coming up on Summer House, we have boobs, we have kisses, we have parties, we have costumes, we have penises, and we have smelly smells. So everyone works super hard. They party super hard. Lauren and Carl do hook up.
Ooh.
So what the
what's
fuck
done is not
there?
done.
Lindsay is single and dating everyone, including what looks to be a me.
It looks like a kiss. Yeah,
it's the kissing one with the hat. The dude with the hat.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Kyle and Amanda are still dating, crushing it, if you will. Steven meets someone, but is still struggling with accepting himself.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm excited for that storyline personally, because I
love Steven. I want everything in all of his life.
I know. Danielle and Carl argue.
Ooh.
Danielle doesn't look like she's backing down either. She looks like a
bad
bitch. We get summer should be fun. Amanda,
not fun. Our favorite line, which rolls right into our fun, not fun
the
segment.
Podcast. Kyle throws stuff in the kitchen. It looks like a toaster or something that he just chucks. Someone throws a watermelon. It looks like Lauren, but then you hear Ashley. So I think it might be Ashley.
I think it's Ashley, but you know what? Ever since seeing this live, I've always wanted to do this.
Throw a
watermelon on the ground.
Me too.
But I just love watermelon so much. I can't waste watermelon.
I actually don't like watermelon, so I would do it in a second.
I have some in my fridge. I'm going to eat it right after this.
Crush it on the floor first.
I already cut it up.
Just crush it.
It was a mini one. It was so cute.
Oh, those are the ones people are crushing in between their thighs.
No, how?
Okay, so like bodybuilders now are taking like large watermelons and being like, oh, and crushing them. But then weak people, like average people, are like, that's not gonna work. So they get the mini ones and they try and they still can't do it.
I think this mini ones would be harder.
They're all hard.
Because the skin is the same thickness on a small one. You know, it's a little bit more dense.
No, I don't know. I don't eat watermelon.
Well, just Google watermelon.
Okay. And then Lauren yells at Carl and kicks him out and he leaves.
Yes.
Dun, dun,
you know
dun.
what? I'm glad to know there's still relationship drama, inner house relationship drama, because
that's all I want.
You know what? It is just too good to let it not be around.
If ever it's not around, we need it somewhere. And it's here.
I can do without Lindsay and Everett. I want Lindsay to have
that was the drama for me.
I know, but that was last season. I don't need to redo it all.
Oh, I want it always. I love
I want a love triangle between Danielle, Lauren, and Carl right now.
Ooh, you think there's gonna be a love triangle?
I feel like it's hard not to when you have two exes. Ooh. Like, even if nothing happens between all of them,
a little jealousy.
Like, I want jealousy. Yeah.
Dope. I like that. Okay, so fun, not fun, because summer should be fun. Amanda, not fun. Let's talk about it.
I love it. It was hard to do the first season without this being a part of it.
I know, because our podcast honestly makes no sense then.
Yes.
Summer is fun.
Here we are now. It already makes fun. Or makes sense. Makes fun.
Makes fun. Do you want to go first?
Sure, because I know which one do you want to do? Fun or not fun?
It doesn't matter. Either one.
Let's do fun. And I'm picking Steven because we love a good gay pride on Bravo.
We love a gay prince.
And just, Steven with the little quips and his interviews, first off, check. He did a wonderful dinner the first night, despite other people being rude and not showing up, but check. And just seeing him like slowly immerse himself and get excited about his own community is really cool. And I love seeing that journey. I just love him and I want to give him a hug in this moment.
Same. So my fun, I'm gonna pick Lauren because she knew what she was doing. You show up early, you pick your room, bitch.
Yeah, you're right.
She died on her hill and she got what she wanted.
You know what? Her argument was terrible and she still got it.
She still got it. She argued with Carl and Carl left the table, not her. And she had a fun one night stand. We don't know if it's a one night stand, but we know it's an away game.
Yeah.
And she's supporting her best friend at Pride, being the good friend that they brought along, all about the ally life.
Like you said, meeting him where he is. And like, honestly, I just felt so much support for him.
Oh my God, we picked the besties.
Yeah,
just the besties. Okay, who's
starting
not
off
fun?
Right. You pick one because I have two options, and
okay. I only have
I'll
one.
pick the alternate.
Okay, I'm gonna pick Carl.
Yeah,
he's a little too drunk for me currently. He doesn't
and not fun drunk. You know, like there's a tipsy, hilarious drunk.
Yeah, like Steven was tipsy, hilarious drunk. Carl's kind of like off the rail drunk,
angry.
He doesn't seem to care who he hurts, and I understand he's going through a difficult time. But I want him to solve it appropriately and not drown his sorrows in alcohol.
Yeah, I mean, I would give him more and stuff, like, you know, their breakup, but like Steven and the dinner, it just didn't add up to me.
Yeah, he's just making me really sad right now. So that's not fun for me.
No. Okay. That was one of my two, so I'm glad you picked him.
Okay.
I'm picking Kyle. I
didn't get that room.
I don't like the showing up and the expectations. It pisses me off because he said it from the beginning in the car he was going to be pissed, but then he walks in and he wants the best room without everybody else being there. And I don't like how much shit he talked last season about relationships and just immediately expects to walk in with a relationship. I think he took the joke well from Lindsay, but this just goes to show, like, don't be so harsh on people because you're probably going to do the same thing at some point.
Don't judge or own it a little better. Be like, I'm an ass. Because listen, Lindsay and Everett didn't get the master last year either. Like, it doesn't matter just because you're in a loving couple.
That's the thing, is he was so harsh on relationships in previous years, and now he wants to like reap the benefits of a relationship. Come on.
I agree. But at least Kyle's a little fun because it's starting some drama. Carl's just a mess.
Carl's a mess. He was my first choice, but that's why
I didn't have another one, so that's
I knew you were going to probably pick Carl.
Should we really quick, just because we don't know anything yet, but I'm curious because I think we're always surprised at the end when I tally them up. Do you have any predictions who's going to be most fun and least fun?
Which, for just full transparency, we have seen all the seasons from here on out, but
we don't remember individually.
Have not watched it. I have not watched it since it aired. You said this was 2016.
Yes.
That's actually, I watched it after the fact. I did not watch it live.
I did too.
I watched it right before season 3 aired.
Even with Vanderpump, that I've probably seen Vanderpump like 2 or 3 times. It's like individually, I'm always shocked at like, how did this person get like our top spot for the season? So who's most fun for the season? Who's your prediction and who's most not fun?
I'm going to say Steven's going to be most fun.
Okay.
And I think this is tough. I could feel like Lauren might be not fun sometimes.
Ooh, okay.
But with the way Carl's starting, it's hard not to pick him.
I was gonna say, I think it might be Carl.
Yeah. But Kyle, based on this season looks like him and Amanda fight a little bit. That I don't know.
I think Lindsay might be most fun.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with.
I'm gonna do my original two here.
Yeah,
Steven and Kyle.
Or Steven Kyle.
Sorry, for me, for Steven fun, Kyle most not fun is my prediction.
Okay, I'm gonna go Lindsay fun, Carl not fun. That's my
Okay.
prediction for
There we go.
season. Now when I count it out, I'll be like, oh man,
I love it.
way off.
And you know what? I want people to comment on the Instagram
Oh my
post what their
God.
predictions.
Comment. That's a good idea because I want to know.
So then we
refer
have
back.
like
We have it in writing.
Yeah, because DMs we lose since we DM people all the time about shows.
Yeah.
But
Perfect. Oh my gosh, everyone. Thanks for joining. We're very excited for like the 8 to 10 episodes this is going to be because we love a short summer house season. Be sure to rate, review, subscribe, join our Patreon, follow us on Instagram. I will start posting a lot more, I promise.
Because summer's fun.
And we're in summer. Ooh.
The best part.
This is it.
Thanks, guys. Bye.